Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll talk about IELTS Writing Task. Specifically, we'll look at IELTS Writing Task 1 Academic. Before we go any further, please subscribe to my channel and click bell icon. So what is IELTS? IELTS is International English Language Testing System. It is essential for you if you want to go to a country where English is medium of communication. For example, England, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, or US. So IELTS is an acceptable English language test which determines how well you can speak English or how well you understand English. Now, what is the format of the test? There are 4 components of the test: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Listening takes about 30 minutes, and then you are given 10 minutes additional to transfer the questions. So in total 40 minutes. Reading takes 60 minutes and writing takes 60 minutes as well. Speaking can take from 11 to 14 minutes. Listening and speaking is same for academic IELTS and general training module, but reading and writing are different for both. Reading and writing for academic is a little more difficult than for general writing, but then we'll talk about these things in any other class. So let's talk about writing module now. So writing test now. So writing takes 60 minutes. So you'll be given 60 minutes to do the task. There'll be 2 tasks and they are named as task 1 and task 2. For academic, you'll be asked to write a graph. You'll be presented a visual information and you'll write sentences on that, and you'll be in task 2 you'll be writing an essay. There'll be 150 words that you have to write, at least 150 words for task 1 and 250 words for task 2. Now let's talk about academic IELTS writing. In task 1 you'll be presented a table, graph, chart or diagram. So candidates must describe and explain the data, describe the stages of a process, describe an event or an object from a given. So you'll be given visual information, so you have to convert that visual information into sentences, but it's not as simple as that. We'll talk about it in a little detail in a while. So now let's look at what is IELTS task 2. So you'll be asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument or problem. So you won't be getting topics as we normally get in colleges with 2 words or 3 words topics. So there'll be complete sentence which will be presenting a point of view, argument or a problem. So you will write in response to that, right? So now you have to write in formal English. That means avoid colloquial, avoid slangs, and avoid contractions also, because contractions are also not part of formal English. In standard English, it's not encouraged to write. So you should not be writing shouldn't, you should write should not. Don't write don't, write don't, right? So avoid contractions, and then we will talk about what is formal and writing, what are the characteristics in one of the classes, but today I want you to learn what is IELTS writing task 1. So now let's take a look at IELTS writing task 1. So you'll be given 20 minutes, and the purpose, the objectives of this task are: assess the ability to describe and compare data, identify trends and patterns and present information clearly and concisely. So you have to compare data, you have to identify trends, like what is the dominant trend taking. If it's a line graph, is it the data presented in fluctuating order, or it's rising and falling, or it's a rising trend, falling trend, or whatever the trend is. So you'll have to understand that, and you also have to present main features of the information. Do not present entire information that is there, but identify what is there to be written, because you only have 20 minutes to write, and you only need to write 150 words at least. So I'll suggest you to target writing a little more, maybe 160, 165, to be on the safe side, but don't write too much. And what type of questions will be? There will be line graphs, there will be bar charts, there will be pie charts. Either one of the one pie chart, there can be two as well. There can be one graph, there can be two graphs as well, and there can be maps also. There can be flow charts. There will be varieties of charts for you to write. And what is the grading criteria? You'll be assessed on 4 different categories. Number 1, task achievement, which means did you do the questions which you were asked to do, right? Did you write 150 words? Did you compare? Did you summarize? That will be task achievement. And then coherent and cohesion in sentences. Have you maintained order, linkage, or in other words, have you organized your writing in a formal manner, proper manner? That will be asked. And then lexical resources, your vocabulary will be assessed. If you are writing basic words, it means high frequency words, words which are commonly used, your points will be low. But if you can use words which are uncommon, then certainly it shows that you know vocabulary well enough, so you'll be given better points for that. You'll get better band for that. And grammatical range and accuracy, which means can you express in a variety of ways, in number of sentences, I mean in number of types of sentences, like simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence, conditional sentences. So are you able to express them in grammatical range and accuracy? And by accuracy means your spelling should be right, your punctuation should be correct, right? So these areas will be there which will be assessed for your writing. Now these are some of the types of graphs. So you can see there's a line graph, bar chart, pie chart, there is table, process diagram, and a map diagram. It's really essential you know the names of different types, because in the beginning, in the start, you need to write, if they are writing in the question, if the question is the graph shows, so you don't need to repeat that. You will actually be starting with name of the graph, the given pie chart, the given flow chart, the presented bar graph, the provided table chart. So you need to know the names of all these different types of graphs. And so let's look at the structure, how you should compose your writing. So there should be 3 paragraphs at least. Sometimes there can be 2 pie charts and they do not have linkage. Maybe in that condition you'll write 4 paragraphs, but there should be essential 3 parts. Number 1, introduction, where you will say what the task is. Now you can paraphrase the question which is given to you, question prompt, that will be your introduction, right? Then you will write overview, like what is a dominant trend, what is the pattern that you see. So you'll summarize entire graph in 1 or 2 sentences. Introduction will also be 1 or 2 sentences. Then there is main body paragraphs, so where you will present details, right? So there can be 2 paragraphs, there can be 3 paragraphs also, depending on the type of graph is there, right? So but there'll definitely be one paragraph at least, right? And then you have to use appropriate vocabulary and grammar throughout the writing. So if you make mistakes, your marks will be reduced. Now let's look at the sample question. So you may be presented one of this type of task, where you'll be given a question like it says, the chart below shows the different levels of post-school qualifications in Australia and the proportion of men and women who held them in 1999. So there is information on the graph already, and this is a question. So what should be your first job to do? That is to write introduction. How you should approach it, we'll still need to talk about it, but you'll write introduction, you will understand the trend, what is the trend there, and then you'll write details of that, right? So right, I hope you can get a good look at this graph, and then we'll talk about it. Although I wouldn't be talk about this graph in detail, maybe we'll arrange another class for that, but I'll just show you how the writing of this graph should look like. So you'll write introduction. The first para that you see is introduction. I have converted the task in my own words. I've written in my own way using paraphrases, synonyms. The bar chart displays the gender-based distribution of various post-school qualifications in Australia in 1999. Then there is overview, and then in the end, I mean the last section is where I have presented details. When I'm presenting details, I'm writing the percentage, and I'm writing about the different categories also. So I'm taking information from y-axis, and I'm also taking information from x-axis, and I'm presenting. I'm not presenting entire graph, so I'm only taking what are main features, maybe highest, lowest, or somewhere there is similar information. I'm presenting that. So maybe you'll have some time to pause this, read this, and try to understand, and maybe you would like to do this task also. And these are some of the words you need to know for graph writing. There are certain types of words that you must be familiar with. For example, increase, decrease, significant, slight, majority, minority, peak, true, fluctuate, remain, steady, stable, reach a plateau. So you need to know these words, what they mean, start practicing also, so that they come to you naturally when you write any graph. Now this is a small task that I would like you to do. Pause this video, do this exercise, and then go ahead, watch the rest of the video. Now this is your homework. Sorry, excuse me. Now this is your homework. I want you to write this. You can write this to me in the comment box, and then I'll definitely check your essay and respond you, right? So you can do it now or you can do it later, but it'll be good that you must write so that I should provide you a feedback. Now, I have also provided you vocabulary which is specifically used for line graph. I mean, not specifically for line graph. This vocabulary is used in different contexts, but these words are going to help you when you write your task one that I've given you. I mean, the earlier task that I've just shown you, right? Now let's wind up what we have learned so far. So read the question carefully whenever the question is given to you. Identify the main trend and key features in the chart. Use appropriate vocabulary and complex sentence structures for accuracy and coherence. And also on vocabulary, please do not repeat same word more often. So learn how to express one thing in number of ways. For example, if you want to write that there's not 25 as exact number, so you can say around, roundabout, approximately, just above, just less than. So you must know how to express same thing in more than one ways. Right, write a clear and concise overview of the main trends and features. So you need to understand what is the trend in 1 or 2 sentences. You must write that, right? Organize your writing logically with topic sentences and supporting details, right? You will need topic sentence in task writing as well. So we'll talk about that, how you can compose it. Maybe in next class. Keep following it, following my lessons. I hope you learn a lot. And manage your time effectively and use the full 20 minutes. Please do not use 25 minutes for this task, because if you spend more time on this task, you'll be losing points on task 2. So keep a balance. Do not exceed 20 minutes, even for practice sessions. Even if you exceed, but then your target should be, even for your practice session, you should be able to finish this task in 20 minutes. And lastly, edit your work carefully. You will really save your maybe 0.5 or even 1 band if you can check your own writing, know what type of mistakes you do. Sometimes we have same pattern of making mistakes, so avoid making them. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much, and please subscribe to my channel, comment and like as well. Take good care. Bye bye.